state, crumbing like I'm first place. I talk that terrible shit, but you got worse takes. I got no anger for haters, that shit don't even matter. Cause when I finish the show, I'll grab some wine after. So let me get on this mic and make your brain freeze. I'ma do it my way so all the lames leave. It's just me, you know I'm careful of fakes. So sit back and listen while I spit my terrible takes. Yo, bitch, you ever heard?
Oh shit, here we go. 6 years in the making. Well, a 6-year anniversary is 6 years in the making, but not as if I've recorded every week for 6 years, because that would be 300 episodes. But this is episode 178, I believe. Check the description. 170 something. If I was as prolific for the last 6 years, for the whole 6 years, as I was the first year, we'd be at episode 1200 right now. No, 600, because I was doing 2 a week on average. I believe the 100th episode was the one year anniversary. And shouts to the Brainbuster boys. Brett, I did a 99 and a half episode with him, which was probably the 100th episode. But no, I mean, there's been a whole bunch of Bishop doing podcasts over the last 6 years. Speaking of Bishop doing podcasts, nothing without the Twitter co-host, just in time 211. What's good, my guy? Absolutely crazy. It's been 6 years. Yeah, I wish it was an everyday thing or an every week thing. I actually had the realization when coming on here what to talk about, because it's selfish to go on the 6 year anniversary just to say that it's been 6 years. But the truth is, I have podcasting time. I don't have content digesting time. And I think with wrestling, period, it's like more than ever, I truly feel like we get 30 minutes of worth watching out of a 3-hour show. And my hat's all fucked up. And it's tough, man. It's tough because it's so formulaic now and copy and paste that we miss the originality of what a lot of wrestling was. So it's hard to sit and watch and go, oh, okay, well, there's something I could talk about. And I just wish, man, I wish. And shouts to Justin. He's over there in the Circle of Debate ecosystem, crushing it from Twitter co-host to real co-host, just over there knocking out the park, live streaming on Facebook. But yeah, so what I wanted to do for this 6 year thing is just kind of remind the world that I still do this. Juan and I did our LOTKS show a couple weeks ago, about a week and a half ago. And that was episode 31, 32. 32 is episode 32. And what that just means is, to me, over the last 6 months, a year, I've done 32 episodes over there. Even when I wasn't doing this show consistently, I was over with Marsh on Wrestling on the Rocks. If he still had that show up, I probably would have done 5 or 6 more episodes over the last year of just doing that, if not more. And, a big reason for us just not talking wrestling is, like I said, the ask to percentage of worth talking about just hasn't been there. I still watch when I can, and I watched all of SmackDown and just the ending of Raw this past week, and it was like, yeah, that's about right, And I'm getting mixed messages from I thought Saturday night's main event was this weekend, and it was going to be KO versus CM Punk for Saturday night's main event, but I guess it's just they're fighting on SmackDown in Canada. And I saw people commenting on CM Punk's promo, and we'll get right into it because part of the description says that CM Punk sucks, because he does. I think it says Cody sucks too. That was actually left over from Mania. That was my last episode, was the WrestleMania episode. I listened to the promo, and again, every time, no matter if I like them or don't, doesn't matter who the fuck they are, man, it's bothering me. My hat is not lined up. It bothers me a lot right now. If I don't like who they are, every second they're on TV, you have an opportunity to win me over. And CM Punk, look, it's not even personal for me, but like when he said he called out Obafemi and he gets endometriosis. I tweeted that like I know women who have gone through endometriosis. It's incredibly painful. And they like it ruins their perspective of what they can be as a woman because some endometriosis is so prolific that they can't have children. I knew one person who didn't want children, just got her uterus removed because the endometriosis was so painful. But she was in her 20s. What if some point in her 30s or 40s, she's like, fuck, I wish I had kids. That's like just a tone deaf term to use. Plus, on the second part of it, like it doesn't rhyme and it wasn't funny. So like if endometriosis rhymed with Obafemi, like cool, but it doesn't. And not only that, it's a word that the entire crowd didn't know. There was no response to it. He was the only one to giggle. It's tone deaf to those who do understand, and there was no like, oh, from the crowd. His whole promo was just garbage. There was a point where he ends his line, and neither him nor I sent shouts to JB and Chris. Check her out with Cheap Pops. I sent them a voice note on WhatsApp to like express my disgust. CM Punk ends his sentence of the promo, and him and KO just stand there for like 3 seconds as wait, who's supposed to talk now? So I've said this before too. I've gone back in the catalog and watched some old WWE CM Punk stuff. Never ROH. I don't like how the product shot. There's some good matches in ROH. I've definitely seen them, but it's just not as palatable for me to watch how it was shot. So I don't watch ROH stuff. But I've never understood it. You know, everyone who's always lauded the pipe bomb, it came out, a couple months ago, how heavily tweaked and scripted that situation was. And it's like, yeah, of course, like that's the presentation of the product. But again, even the pipe bomb, it's like what he said there was not like, ooh, because we all knew. We all always knew. So I never understood what people got in him, what they saw in him. And even now his wrestling is so subpar from an athletic standpoint. When Cena was having his matches last year, as an athlete, he was still performing. He slowed himself down. His partner slowed themselves down. But just like shouts to Kyle for the apron bump, he put out his what if every G1 winner faced the champion at SummerSlam. And it was Cody versus Zack Sabre Jr. And he said, I feel like Cody would just try too hard to wrestle in ZSJ style. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I watch when Punk is wrestling. He is trying to perform something he's not. He is on some type of sauce. Mr. Straight Edge is on some type of sauce. Because for him to be body shaming Kevin Owens as well, look at CM Punk's physique his entire career until he came back to WWE. Dude's got shoulders that he's never had before, And look, he's putting in work, sauce or not, but it's sauce. And it's gross, man. Like he's just a tone deaf promo who's always been bad. And I wish I saw the greatness. I enjoyed his strap match with Drew. That's it. He had one promo too that I fucked with. Fuck, I don't remember when that was. Check the tapes. I think I said something on here. At least on Wrestling on the Rocks, I did. But yeah, man, I just don't see it. I want to see it. I want to enjoy it, but just go back. Somebody said that fucking CM Punk cooked fucking KO too, and I'm like, all right, I'll wait for it. Didn't happen. The only thing he did was cut off Kevin Owens when Kevin Owens was getting on a roll, talking about his every friend in the industry doesn't like him. Oh, you're gonna name names? You're gonna name names? Yeah, the fucker's in AEW. We all know who he's talking about. Justin says, Cody has never had that kind of wrestling style. He'd absolutely 10 out of 10 times get out wrestled by Sabre Jr. Yeah, no, I agree, but it's also him not playing to his skill set, right? Like when you look at the Brock Lesnar, Finn Balor, Brock Lesnar, Rey Mysterio, Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles, you have to play your part in that match. And Cody, to Kyle's point, was always, well, if you're going to be one A, I got to be one B. I got to do what you do too. I can do that too, and that's just not Cody's skill set. The one thing I disagree with Kyle is, he kind of like waved his hand at Cody being a technician. I think Cody can wrestle like stunning Steve Austin. I think he can do that. I think he has that quick mat skill set, but inside the ropes, like if it's a 10 by 10, that 8 by 8 section, or sorry, if it's a 20 by 20, then that 15 by 15 section of the ring. Like if you go back and watch old school Steve Austin before the neck injury, it's not ground and pound bruiser. It is technical wrestling. And I think Cody can do that, but it is the other things. When he tries his, I guess, anything above the shoulders, like Cody's got a solid drop kick, but anything above the shoulders, like don't jump off the second rope and do a cutter, right? Stay grounded, stay technical. And I think he can excel there, but he's always outside of his own pocket, that it's like, come on, man, what are you doing? Justin again said, oh, you know what? I could pull these up on screen. What am I doing? Out of the two promos, KO has beaten Punk on the mic. Punk feels like he's coming with the same recycled material. Yeah. And one of the things that I said to the guys on the voice note was they must love CM Punk because he always goes for the cheap pop. Again, Shaq Grappling cheap pop. Shouts to them. Is it great to be alive on a Monday night in Colorado while looking at the Rockies in Friday Night SmackDown or whatever the fuck he says, right? He overdoes the cheap pop to get them on his side. And again, when it comes to entrance music, you're not over if you have a song, right? Like people, when I can't even go back there. Like, okay, Austin, The Rock, Bret Hart. It's the first 2 seconds that gets the crowd pop. People singing your song the whole way is not over. They like your song. Jericho having Judas is a cheat code to have the crowd join your side. But that doesn't mean you're over for the rest of the way. I just watched a clip of Daniel Bryan. Somebody put together like Daniel Bryan was trying to get fired from WWE. And it was him talking about Cesaro and Vince McMahon saying that Cesaro doesn't have it, right? And after the it part was the crowd cheering for Cesaro and all these things. And my point is, after the song ends, what are you doing to pull us in? What are you doing to keep us there, right? Like there's this whole thing. How is Roman Reigns a heel right now? Everyone loves when Roman comes out. They put their one up. But the crowd cheered for Solo, right? Like, what are you doing after the songs are over? When Roman was being a heel as the tribal chief, I came on this show and everyone else's. Give me a fucking reason to watch him lose. Please give me the reason. I want it to end too, but give me the reason. And Cody's story wasn't it. As you see, what is that morphed into, right? What is it morphed into? Nothing. Roman's still on top. Cody's still fighting some type of undercard bullshit because he can't main event by himself, right? Who was night 2 of WrestleMania this year, right? So, shit, who was night 2 of SummerSlam? Right? So, like, anyway, so yeah, I'm with you. It's what happens after the song stops. And KO has always been that guy after the song stops. KO's music was so similar to Dean Ambrose in the beginning. I was never really sure who it was coming out. And I was also a fan of both, so it really didn't matter to me. Their songs didn't matter. I needed them to do their thing in the ring. But KO coming back in this house, we are fucking excited because we're getting that authenticity. I've said it before on here too. Like, I met Alicia Fox after a live show one night, and she was like, "Oh, well, who's your favorite wrestler?" And I had KO gear on. I'm wearing probably the same shorts I wore back then. I was like, KO. She was like, "Oh, he comes into the catering. He's like, I'm a wrestler. I'm a wrestler." It was so funny. And I pointed out to her that he got his pay-per-view haircut, and she laughed. I was like, yeah, it's like always like the episode before pay-per-view, he gets his haircut, and you can tell. But she was laughing, and we were talking about it. But like the point is, like, he does that. He is the version that people told me CM Punk was, right? And KO said it in the fucking promo, some fat indie loser or whatever the fuck. Like, CM Punk has been so commercialized since WWE, before ROH and all that shit. That's why like his stuff in AEW didn't quite add up to me. And what I realized by CM Punk in AEW is he is a victim of his own popularity. Because again, that Eddie Kingston match, the whole Eddie Kingston feud, the crowd was so into Kingston that if Punk just turned heel, they would have made so much more money together. Eddie Kingston would probably be a fucking champion by the end of it. Not the route they went because of Punk's ego. What has Punk done since he's been back? He's been a tweener ever since. He acts like an asshole to all the wrestlers and then cheeks it to the fucking audience. Like, get that? See, this fucking guy? Come on, guys in Colorado. Like, gets everyone on their side. On his side by pandering. So it's not performance. It's not execution of bars. It's not execution of wrestling as to why the crowd is on his side. He's using these cheap gimmicks and, as Justin said, recycled material to get the crowd to go along with him. Now, that's the crowd's choice. That's fine. But it's not authentic from a viewer standpoint. I could almost guarantee you that the in-house crowd who's excited to see Punk and just saying his song is way more manipulated to be on board than the fans at home. And some of you fucking nerds can say, well, that's the point. But it's not the point. It's not the point. You are to organically influence the crowd to go where the story needs to go, not where you want it to go. For instance, the only thing I really agree with Cody Rhodes on is his opinion of the greatest match of all time, which is Rock Hogan from WrestleMania. For the art of the form of wrestling, you can easily put that in the greatest match of all time because they told their story from beginning to end. The crowd grabbed what they were doing and they turned the crowd to where the story needed to go by the end of the match. That's the art of what wrestling is. Forcing the crowd to continue to cheer you and boo your other guy to boost your own ego, get the fuck out of here. Justin says, KO has always been authentic. He even said during a promo, he never changed who he is. That's why the fans always on his side. 1,000%. That's why he's been one of my favorite wrestlers from the beginning, is because I operate absolutely the same way. Kevin Owens as a healer, babyface, never really mattered to me because it's about the performance. Even when he's beating up Sammy, their feud in NXT when he stole the belt immediately was, I should have been signed before you because I'm better than you. Here's why. Fuck our friendship. This is wrestling, right? He goes on to face, and it's again part of the reason why when I first got back into wrestling, this is what KO was doing. He goes up to the main roster and he faces John Cena. He beats John Cena. John Cena gives him the finger point, says, "You belong here." Right afterwards, pop up, powerbomb, bang. The promo after that was, KO said, "You don't need to tell me I belong here. I know I belong here." And he's always backed it up with his in-ring performance. And that's That's what I gravitate to. That's why I never got down with CM Punk, because those were completely opposite sides of the spectrum. You're telling me you're good at this. I look at you. You're not good at this. I'm good. KO's telling me he belongs here. He's showing me he belongs here. His performance is top notch. One of his interviews, he said he hated John Cena for the longest time. John Cena was his kid's favorite wrestler. He goes and beats John Cena. His kid cries. After the feud, he's like, to himself, he said, I couldn't tell my kid this. John Cena's the best wrestler I've ever been in a ring with. You got to understand, like, as fans, big reason why I started podcasting is I would listen to Stone Cold Steve Austin talk about these things where what we see as fans tends to get manipulated by what we want, not what they're doing. People who see CM Punk call Kevin Owens fat and say that he's out of his league get confirmation because that's what they wanted to hear from CM Punk. I'm watching two wrestlers, one I like, one I don't like, have a promo battle. And I think the guy I like did better. But it's because the guy I didn't like didn't say anything to hook me. Again, if it was a different diss and it made sense, go for it. Go for it. Oh, you wanted to be like me. Yeah, you may have won the Universal title before I even got here, but you couldn't hold another one until you put all those tattoos on your arm. I'm surprised you don't have a Coca-Cola emblem on there. Like, say some shit like that, right? Kevin Owens came out. He did a promo with CM Punk. I turned to my wife. I said, remember when he just used to have the Live Evil tattoo? And that's it? And now he's full of sleeves, right? CM Punk can do that. But CM Punk can't do that because he doesn't know how. So everyone who's, boosting him up, and CM Punk's more than welcome to come on the show. I don't know if we talk about it back and forth. He can call me any name he wants. Some fucking Mark Loser, whatever the fuck. No, I'm just a fan. I'm a fan of good shit, and he's not. So fuck him. Man. Yeah, that felt good. Cody and Randy. Again, hate the internet. Always predicting. Oh, real quick. Justin on some more Punk stuff. I just recently got back on the Punk bandwagon. Boo. He gave me nothing in the first promo, and the second one just came off more the heel than KO. Yeah, you're right. And here's the problem, though. Like I mentioned about the Eddie Kingston stuff. I don't think Punk has the ability to suppress his ego enough to steer into that, right? Like a big, huge fucking problem we have in wrestling is the obvious good guy, bad guy, right? I was just getting into it with Cody and Randy. People are begging for Cody to be a heel. Always going to be a heel. Always going to be a heel. Always going to be a heel. What does that even fucking mean, right? The shit with Roman Reigns and Solo. The crowd fucking loves what Solo did, but no one's booing Roman, right? But if we can have obvious good guy, obvious bad guy, it's so perfect for Punk and KO to do that right now that Punk can turn himself. Again, if you're this fucking talented, okay, everyone shitted on Cena's heel turn last year. Cena's ability to garner your interest, to break Netflix. He broke Netflix last year because people tuned into what he was going to say. Cena broke Netflix last year, okay? People wanted to see what he's going to say after becoming a heel. And all he did as a heel was tell the truth, right? The complete outcome wasn't great. But when you look at the execution of character, you at least have the ability to do that. That's what I would love to see Punk do. If they're going to go this route, right, where the second one, he just came off more the heel than KO. Absolutely, right? And what reason does KO have to be a heel, right? You can hate someone and still be a good guy. Batman doesn't appreciate the Joker. He doesn't like that guy, right? So you can hate this guy and be a good guy, and it could be your choice of vengeance like Batman, to rid us of the Joker, right? Let's see some Joker shit, though. We got to see Punk be that bad guy. Be the bad guy. Be the bad guy. Who just kicked someone in the dick on Monday? Was it Cody? No. Someone just kicked someone in the dick on Monday. But I feel like it was a good guy move. Like things are becoming more blurred than ever because there is no obvious bad guy. And if Punk is as good as he says he is, go be the obvious bad guy. Be a fucking villain. But he does not want to stand out there and get booed. Is it great to be the champion and have the entire locker room hate you on a Monday night in Amsterdam or whatever the fuck he is? Like, do that. Steer into that shit. Give us someone to fucking hate. Okay, again, I never rooted for Cody as champion because I didn't feel what he was saying was true. And that's a Cody problem, not a me problem. I believe every second that Roman is the tribal chief. I believe every moment Roman says he's number one. I am actually concerned that Solo is so believed in himself that he can beat Roman. I actually had that thought the other day, that this is playing out so well that Solo should actually beat Roman. It makes sense. He is not brainwashed 1 second, not by his brothers, not by his father, not by Roman. He is ready. Jay always had some conflict, some point to prove. Solo's like, been there, done that, doesn't make sense. I'm out of here. Fuck, Solo could actually beat Roman, and it would make sense. They're telling that story simple enough. And Roman can be the bad guy for it. He can freak out, beat up his family because they didn't help him win. This is bullshit. Roman end up on his head. Like, the whole fucking thing can happen. Just by what they did on Monday, because that's what they showed us. And they showed us you should want to root for Solo. Because even though Roman has given us what he wants, and as a believable champion, he's still showing that tyrannical force. Fuck, man. Solo, you know what? Solo, go out there and win it. It makes sense. It makes sense. I could see it happening. But the indifference with someone like Punk is like, well, yeah, if he wins, then I guess we'll just get some KO match down the line where he'll finally face CM Punk again. Like, it's just not adding up. You know? It's just not adding up. And I don't like that. But what are you gonna do? Oh shit, almost knocked the mic over. What are you gonna do? Right? You're gonna sit and watch and see what happens. But I can't support or applaud Punk if it keeps coming off this way. So, and again, that leads us to Cody and Randy. Now, to be fair, I saw the highlights of their switch, right? Randy was about to hit Cody. So Cody was now the one to do the thing. Okay, simple storytelling. My problem is Randy did it last time and lost. So if Cody does it this time and wins, then Randy's just a loser to Cody no matter what. And if Cody does it this time and Randy wins, now do we have a like a downtrodden Cody trying to build himself back up to a winner? You know, like it's either going to be Super Cody or Cody loses. Where do we go from here unless we get a true shift in Cody? So I want something to fucking root for with this guy, man. Put on the Stardust gimmick again. Let's do that. Go back to being Stardust. By the way, we are live on YouTube and X at TWTakes Podcast on both. Using the same streaming setup for the LOTKS podcast. I will be downloading this and putting this on audio as well. Like I said earlier, you know, I have the bandwidth and the time for episodes. I don't have the bandwidth and time for content ingestion to produce episodes. I've said it on this show a bunch of times. I don't have the ability to pull an episode out of my ass. I mean, I'm kind of doing it now, but that's because I did watch some content before, but I can't just watch clips and give you guys a real opinion of what's going on. It's just not my style. Let's see here. Justin says Cody should lose and start the downward spiral towards the dark side, even if it results in a double turn. Well, a double turn is subjective because, again, in this day, if Randy wants to be a babyface, then he just comes out and gives Dominic Mysterio an RKO, and now he's a babyface. If he wants to be a heel, then he comes out and he gives Chad Gable an RKO, and now he's a heel. So I don't necessarily think double turn is as important as it used to be, but whatever Randy can do to help increase the visibility of a Cody heel would mean more to me. Like they've done this thing with Sammy and Cody for like a year, where they're in the back talking to each other, and Cody's getting frustrated with what Sammy has to say and like all this shit, and it just doesn't materialize in either one of them changing character or having success in the ring. So I don't know what a double turn really means. You know what I mean? Because like I feel like what Sammy and Cody were doing was supposed to lead one of them to either success or not. And by Cody dismissing Sammy and then Sammy winning the title and being kind of this heel version of the champion, it's just fucking weird, you know? So I think Randy needs to do what he can to help Cody solidify his turn. And I just think Randy is who he is, and he can be babyface or heel whenever he wants. So, you know, that tweener nature of who he's going to be is, you know, and what gave Stone Cold the ability to be heel or face at the drop of the dime, if he came out and was like, you know, whatever, what? He was like, shut up. You don't get to respond to me. And then all of a sudden the crowd boos. Like, it's just that quick. And Randy could do the same thing, not necessarily with the what chance, but you know what I mean. In an instance, he just goes to the crowd, you know what, fuck you guys, I'm doing this now. But it took Cena to get rid of the colors. It took Cena to, you know, kick Cody in the dick, side with The Rock and all that for us to start there. And then he kept us there. And that's what I'm getting at. Punk, Cody, fucking anyone, start there and then keep us there. So yeah, I guess a broad question to the audience is: Drew McIntyre ever coming back, or is he gone too, like Ilija Dragunov? And we can jump into that. Ilija Dragunov. Here's something I'll say, and this one's kind of twofold for me. The Dragunov one. I've said for years that WWE needs a third show. They need a third 2-hour show. It should be every Saturday, whether it's an all-woman show or not. Whether it's a mid-card show where it's just the U.S. title and IC title, and now that they have the women's, you know, do like a mid-card show on a Saturday. There's too many wrestlers. If you look back in any era, you can name 20 wrestlers, but can you name how much time they had on TV? When you look at the Stone Cold era, he was the Cena of the day, right? They would start the show with a backstage promo or a vignette from last week or what have you, and then 45 minutes in, they'd give you another teaser, and then 45 minutes in, another teaser, and then 45 minutes in, another teaser, and then at the end of the night, he sends the crowd home happy. That's still happening, but it's happening with 100 people on the roster instead of 60. There's just not enough time. That's why Grayson Waller is back down in NXT. That's why Dolph Ziggler went down to NXT. That's why Dolph Ziggler is not around anymore. That's why I'm surprised R-Truth is still around. There's just not enough time on TV. And when I saw that it was the release happening, I'm looking at the Gunther storyline, and Gunther is like 6 months away from his tag team run. Again, Shawn Michaels and Diesel were champions, tag team champions. Triple H and Stone Cold and Mankind or Dude Love, Kane and Undertaker, fucking you name it, right? These guys were tag champs as main eventers. And I was like, shit, Dragunov, if he's just around 6 months, him and Gunther would have been tag team champions out of nowhere because there was nothing to do with either one of them, but they're main eventers. Dragunov's never gotten that on the main roster. The injuries took him out of that. I think he's a brilliant wrestler. I don't think he translates well on Raw or SmackDown. I just don't. I think his setup, like Bobby Roode, is built for the smaller arena. That whole glorious run in NXT was fucking phenomenal. It didn't translate on the main roster at all. Nakamura was so close. Had he gotten a win against AJ in WrestleMania, we may have felt bigger about Nakamura. I think we all still love him. His music hits, will all go nuts. But what's the last thing we remember about how successful he was? Him and Boogs. Because the song, the gimmick, it's playful. It makes sense. It's that small arena feel. Somebody put out there that Sami Zayn was the first Triple H guy from NXT to win the title. Because everyone else came through FCW first, or whatever it was. And Finn Balor and KO only won the Universal title. Which got me thinking, oh, and Drew McIntyre was there before, came back. He got the title. But my point in bringing that up was there hasn't been a leader of the company to come out of NXT. KO's that guy. He is. KO's that guy. He's always been that guy, and he's been holding it down. I mean, shit, there was that time with him and Jericho. It was KO, Jericho, Roman in some capacity for like 20 straight weeks to end the night. But my point about Dragunov was like his presentation in NXT was truly the only foil for Gunther back then. He was the only, him, Ciampa, like all that shit was just fucking phenomenal. But as you see with Ciampa, you know, I don't know if he's doing anything in AEW anymore, but he plays bigger and better to smaller audiences. And it's just there's a truth to that. It's why ROH was so popular, right? It's why AEW started to take off. That wrestling that plays to a smaller package is really valuable. Let's see here. Justin says, Dragunov felt so legit. The intensity he has definitely helps. That moment he had in the Rumble with Lesnar, no selling his offense, pretty much killed the return run. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that clip again. It definitely didn't help. And everything we know about Dragunov and Lesnar, that would have been a great fucking match if we got it for real. And I just think when you look at Dragunov as a performer and the formula of what Raw and SmackDown are, I don't think it lends to him being successful in that bubble. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Maybe he could have made it as champion. But honestly, the ceiling that I see what would have been, oh, you know what? Fuck it. Bring him back. He could easily have been a Jake Roberts of today. That absolute battle axe you have to get through to become champion. Or I guess Roddy Piper could be reserved for LA Knight. LA Knight's kind of the Roddy Piper of today. The guy who can talk his ass off, have a good match, but never wins. You know what I mean? It's a bummer. It's a bummer. Because I don't think he's ever going to win the title. Yeah. But yeah, I think if you have Dragunov still here, as that guy. Give him a couple IC title runs, but that gateway to the main event. But there's just the guys today are just not built for that position. You know, they're not built for the stepping stone. They don't want to be there. I mean, look at Sami Zayn. And I don't want to project this on Sami Zayn, but that's basically his whole character. His whole character was, why am I this for everyone else, but I don't get to be champion, you know? And that's not fair to the audience, you know, because we're smarter than that. Like, yes, they have more title bets than ever before, but we also don't need everyone as champion. Again, when Ronda was in, you know, she's like, oh, well, I got to win this title for Roddy Piper. And one of Piper's kids even told her, like, my dad never needed the title. He never really wanted the title because he was the people's champion. The people knew who he was, and having that connection with the audience meant more. Something I've said about Braun Strowman, right? Like, Braun Strowman was always our champion ever since and shouts to Roman Reigns again, right? Like, ever since his feud with Roman Reigns, us as fans were like, oh my God, this guy is really good. He really should be something. And he never actually needed to be the champion. He could have just been that guy all the time, because every time he was champion, nothing really felt good, you know? Nothing really felt right. And Dragunov could have been one of those guys too. I just don't know. I don't know what that looks like going forward, though. So, look, Dragunov's legit. Anytime he wants to wrestle and come back, if he's allowed to come back or whatever, like, I'll watch. You know, he's got some shit going on in another company. I'll watch some highlights. I watched the highlights of Ciampa coming in, and it's hysterical. To AEW, it's hysterical. I'll be like, oh, I can't believe they wasted this talent and all this shit. And now where's Ciampa, right? Hasn't wrestled in like 2 months or some shit. And Dragunov's going to be the same way. And I look, I will agree with people who say I can't believe WWE wasted Dragunov, because they did. They did. But again, I will give them the pass. If Triple H is in charge now, and he was in charge of NXT then, he knows exactly what he has in talent. But what he also has is the confines of 2 to 3 hours this day, 2 to 3 hours that day. That's it. And the roster is bloated. They still don't have a fucking tag team division, right? Like, so whatever is happening, it's at the behest of having too much talent. They either need another show or smaller rosters. I put Dragunov on my roster. He's been one of the top wrestlers I've seen over the last couple of years. It's not their choice. Oh, yeah, that's an easy one. Justin hit the nail on the head. Feel like Dragunov style fits well in Japan. Give him a run there. Yeah, 1,000%. There's someone who can wrestle ZSJ. Fucking Dragunov, Zack Sabre Jr. Does that match exist? Where are you indie nerds that know that? Let me look that up. Dragunov versus ZSJ. I did see a clip of Dragunov versus Eddie Kingston the other day. Oh, shit. Ilija Dragunov and Zack Sabre Jr. have never squared off in a major televised one-on-one singles match. Their paths crossed primarily in European tag team action on the independent scene, such as WXW, but have not had standalone singles. There you go. Tag team match in 2015. They faced each other across opposing corners in a tag team match in WXW 15th Anniversary Tour, where ZSJ teamed with Gunther and Dragunov with Robert Dreisker. Is that fucking, what's his name? Karrion Kross? Stop highlighting everything. I'm literally trying to just highlight fucking Robert Dreisker. And it's highlighting the whole article. No, this is someone else. This is Robert Dreisker. Avalanche, dope name. New natural disaster. Give it to us in New Japan. Yeah, Dragunov versus ZSJ. That's it. See, this is why I don't fantasy book. Justin's known for 6 fucking years. This is why I don't fantasy book, because I say words like Dragunov versus ZSJ, and here we are. Here we are. Exactly why I don't fantasy book. I am surprised it hasn't happened. It should have. Because they've both been wrestling forever. Actually, ZSJ was in the Cruiserweight Classic. God, that had to have been 10 years ago. Maybe 11 years ago. And never touched WWE since. And for Dragunov to work his way to WWE and not cross paths is pretty wild. So yeah. Yeah, that'd be dope. I'm down for it. I want to see it now. How do we find it? When's it going to happen? I know Kyle Fletcher put a picture of him and Dragunov up. I just don't let him go to AEW. I do think, look, I think, look, this could be the AEW rant of the show. That's fine. AEW as a monetary platform for non-WWE wrestlers is fantastic. I just don't see the creative appeal of going to AEW. Cody came, Punk came, Ricky Saints came over, Jade Cargill came over. But help me out here. Like, what's being produced? Ethan Page came over, which his body of work in TNA elapsed anything he did in AEW. Like, what's the appeal of going to AEW from a ability to put in great, I don't want to say storytelling because that's not the end all be all, but like great character work and professional wrestling development. Powerhouse Hobbs did as well. That's right. Royce Keys. Yeah. And I think, and look, if you look at Powerhouse Hobbs to Royce Keys, they spent 2 months trying to give us a backdrop of what Royce Keys is fighting for and why he's important. And they then tied in his relationship to Jacob Fatu and really anyone else who was on the indies. So they gave us a bit to latch onto. Now it's up to Keys to help us out, right? But what did he do as Powerhouse Hobbs except wait for screen time and do like a couple suplexes on a few people? You know, like Wardlow is one that I'm really interested about because we've seen glimpses of what he can do as a character if he was given the ability to characterize himself in WWE. Could he become something else? Like what we thought Cross could be on the main roster, right? Like I'll die on that hill. Karrion Kross did not translate on main roster TV. The entire crowd chanting, "We want Cross." Go for it. You got him. What happened when you got him? It didn't work. Can Wardlow be that guy? I don't know. We saw some things, but we didn't get it. We didn't get the full picture. So I don't see the, like, so for someone like Ciampa, who's in his 40s, is trying to finish out his career, in my opinion, I would imagine he's trying to finish out his career and maybe potentially be world champion or what have you. He at least has 3 to 4 years to go, you know what? This is it for me. But I would be curious if Dragunov can do the Baron Corbin approach. How can I gain this outside buzz to show I can carry my own weight in a way I wasn't able to on WWE TV? Because here's the problem with Baron Corbin when he was around to begin with. He told us he was a badass, never showed us he was a badass. He was always the butt of jokes. He went out to MLW, did his thing, and showed us he's a badass. Came back, he's still showing us he's a badass. Big Cass, there you go. Justin, that's the one. It's Big Cass. Big Cass did his thing, got his shit together, became Morrissey, was able to characterize himself as a monster in AEW, perform as a monster performer, not a uber athletic 7-footer, right? Because he was the, I would say, basketball style wrestler in WWE when he was with Enzo, right? It was, how am I going to athletically get around this ring like a 7-footer as if I'm running the court? Where now he is a 7-foot bruiser. I think it's a big part of why he comes out in jeans, not just, because he's sneak attacking with his shirt off. But I think that's so far the only one that has shown character work into wrestling performer from AEW. So I don't see Dragunov getting that. But if he could go to a Japan, I don't know if TNA or MLW can get it for him. MLW might. He might be able to Jacob Fatu MLW. I could see that happening. I can see him taking over MLW. That might be pretty cool. But yeah, Japan's definitely going to match his style for sure. Yeah, that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see where he goes. It's always the case when everyone gets released, right? Like, people are clamoring for the New Day to show up with Swerve Strickland. Maybe, maybe not. Woods and Kingston, again, the wrestling scene there's just so much talent, but they're also in their 40s. So what more do you want from them? I do wish we had a better tag division in WWE. We don't. Shouts to the MFTs bringing in Haku. Always cool to see legends. I also think that might be why Solo has a chance to win the title, is because the MFTs are now kind of pushed away from Solo by being with Haku. And the backup for Solo has been LA Knight, not the MFTs. So, tagline of the show, we'll see. That's about all I got. Look, it's been 52 minutes. Not bad for not doing this for a while. On a 6-year average, I would say an hour an episode is basically where I'm at, as always. But just keep the notifications. That's why I appreciate Justin, man. I know he popped on because he's seen that YouTube notification at TWTakes Podcast on Twitter, at TWTakes Podcast on YouTube as well. If you guys got anything you ever want me to talk about, tag me in it, and I'll do my best to get on. Like I said, I have time to podcast, but I don't have time to absorb fucking all the content. So we'll see how I can really get down. And truth be told, like SummerSlam, I watched it and I wanted to say something about it, but I also felt like it would lack authenticity if I gave the episode without respecting the build to get there. Because just judging the payoff doesn't always quite add it to what the story is for. Justin, appreciate you, homie. It's just good to have you back in some way. No, thank you. I agree, man. It's good to do this in some way. Being able to do this always means a lot to me. I know what it means to some of you guys. I know the talent I have for it. I gotta figure it out. I'll definitely figure it out more. Keep it locked to YouTube at TWTakes Podcast. Haven't done a Fortnite stream in a while. There's a new season right now with Sonic. Fortnite's got a little wonky, but I still like to play with the pawn. He's gotten really good. Bugs me out because as I tell him, he's better in some ways than I am, and I am better in some ways than he is. It was funny because before last season, and we'll wrap up on this. Last season in Fortnite, before we ever play duos, we basically play a solos match first, so we can kind of like get back into the trigger motions and things like that. He played his, he got second. I played mine, I got first, and I was like, "See, I'm better than you." you got second, I got first. Like, what do you know? So it's just shit like that. But no, it's good. It's where we bond for the most part. But yeah, new season out. Sonic's in there. He's the first free character. They have a Green Hills where you can hit a speed boost and it sends you through the tunnel and shit. So Fortnite does a good job of bringing in nostalgia, kind of like wrestling does sometimes. But yeah, so keep it locked. Keep it locked. At TWTakes Podcast on Twitter. At TWTakes Podcast on YouTube. That is the show. Justin, thank you so much for being the YouTube co-host. Till next time.
Turn it up, you know I'ma bring the pain. This bitch, I stay a buck like you call Giannis' name. You don't like it? Well, fuck it, you don't have to listen. I'm speaking facts when I talk, I know it's something different. I'm in the first state, crumbing like I'm first place. I talk that terrible shit, but you got worse takes. I got no anger for haters, that shit don't even matter. Cause when I finish the show, I'll grab some wine after. So let me get on this mic and make your brain freeze. I'ma do it my way so all the lames leave. It's just me, you know I'm careful of fakes. So sit back and listen while I spit my terrible takes. Yo!